Hey y'all, hey. So I have been just pondering like how I would start off my story of what I've lived through the last 4 years with this person that definitely has mental illness, definitely has bipolar disorder. And I truly 100% believe it happened because he was incarcerated for too much of his life. After being here with Mr. Julio for 4 years and sitting and talking to him, look, we really rarely went anywhere. Anytime we went somewhere, it was once a month, maybe. And there were times where we didn't go anywhere at all, because he would come home from work and just want to go out there and play around in the car, mess around in the garage all the time. He kept himself very just preoccupied with that or doing the yard or things like that. And let me just preface this really quick. Let me go back a little bit. So when he showed up here, he put on the I am your handyman, all man in one superhero show. So while I was at work, he was cleaning the house. It wasn't dirty, but he was cleaning the house. My brother was living here, and we had some dogs, so the dog hair was kind of a little bit out of control with my brother. But he was like always like, I can fix that, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, calm down. So he definitely put on the I'm the guy you want living here. I can fix this. I can get up to your ceiling fans and dust your ceiling fans and your vents, and I can fix your car for you, and I can do your yard for you. And so he put on this show, which most women are going, oh my God, that's all I've ever wanted was a man that would just do this stuff, like do the man stuff around the house. And it was great. But let me just say, that doesn't give you the right to abuse me because you've done things for me. So he didn't really, we fought a lot in the beginning because of interference from his baby mamas and stuff being jealous that he was here with me, and his ex-girlfriend who he, broke up with right before me. And they were just, look, I met a guy on a dating app that was single. What you guys had going on before me, that has nothing to do with me. So he basically came here trying to show that I was the man that he wanted. But we would fight about pornography. We would fight about me catching him masturbating to pornography. And we fought about him talking to other women. Still talking to other women on dating apps. He's still got dating apps, and he was still talking to other women. I'm not going to ask to see his phone when we're barely starting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't all in his business like that. And then somebody contacted me and said, look, he's talking to my friend. And she gave me the person's name. So I just decided one day to look in his phone to see if it was true. And sure enough, it was true. He was chatting with this woman while his grandmother was here visiting us. And me and his grandma were in the kitchen cooking for him. He was sitting on my couch texting this woman, asking her, are you happy in your marriage? I could make you very happy. How are you making her happy? What are you going to do for her? You don't even have a job. You don't even have a job, bro. What are you going to do for this woman? You're living in my house. You're driving my car. What are you going to do for this woman? So I didn't confront him while his grandmother was here. No. But while his grandma was here, he treated her like shit. He made her sad twice, and she locked herself in her room and was crying. He also wouldn't take us, like, she wanted to go shopping for souvenirs, and he just outright refused to go out with her that day. He wasn't going to do anything that she wanted to do when she wanted to do it. Like, she doesn't have much time here, bro. And so I finally was able to take her out that following day, and he went with us to go get her tchotchkes, to get her little souvenirs to take back to Florida. He definitely has mental illness. Like I said, when he first came here, he started telling me about the voices that he was hearing from the walls. He posted it on his Facebook as well. I have a book here that he used to write all things down in that he heard the inmates say, and we're telling him. He was calling the prison and telling the prison about this dynamics, that he can hear the voices through the walls from Rhode Island to Arizona. He could hear the inmates talking to him. We would be sitting on the couch and he would tap me, and I'm like, look, I don't want to hear it. I don't know. And he'd say, you don't hear him? No, I don't hear him. And I don't want to hear him. So, and hopefully you'll stop hearing him soon. After one officer laughed at him and told him that he was stupid and he needed to go get mental help and hung up on him, he put the book in the drawer and never touched it again. The book is still sitting in the drawer over there. After he was arrested, my niece came over and we read it. And it was the most bizarre readings. But in the readings, I found some interesting stuff out. Very perverted. Sexual talk with men in the prison system about raping other men. Also brought up my personal stuff in there. Not only mine, but then there was a comment about my daughter and her ass. So he has no boundaries, none whatsoever. He told me that he was accused of trying to sleep with his mother-in-law. He claimed it was a total lie, but I'm believing it now. Now I believe that he tried to make a pass at his mother-in-law for several reasons. He has no boundaries. He will go after women in their 80s because he's like, oh, why wouldn't they want me? Look at me. I'm so handsome. And why wouldn't an 80-year-old woman want me? He wants a sugar mama. He wants someone to take care of him, at least for a little while, because he does like being kind of manly in the house. So when I was first with him and I was providing, like I took him shopping, I spent money on him for clothing because he came here with nothing but $40 in a duffel bag. So I took him shopping, got him clothing, got him shoes, helped him get a job. The only reason he was making the money he was making here in Arizona is because my friend hired him at his company, no background check, nothing. And then when he got fired a few months later, one of the other supervisors was like, I'll hire you on my team. So when he got hired back, he said, here, I need you to use this identity instead of the last identity. Because yes, ma'am, he had two identities here. He was using one, and that guy started getting child support taken out of his check. So that pissed him off that he was paying somebody else's child support. I was like, yeah, you should be paying your own child support, which he wasn't. And he got mad. So then when the guy hired him back, he said, here, hire me under my real name so that I won't have to pay child support and all that. So my friend was like, I can't do that. And I said, don't do anything that's going to hurt your job, friend. Please don't do anything that's going to hurt your job. My friend was like, but I'm worried about you because I know you need him to be working and making money. And I said, yes, I do need him to be working because I can't pay everything on my own with my job. And so he said, I'm going to do this for you. And he hired him back. He hired him back under another identity. Two identities, one company. My friend. He wouldn't have that job. He'd be making $14 an hour freaking planting for Moon Valley because that's where he was working when my friend said, no, come to my job. I'll give you 18 starting as a driver. No background check. No drug test. Nothing. My friend. Everything that we have gained together was because I allowed him into my world. And I used my credit, my home, my friend to get him where he was. But yet, he claims that he was all that he could be for me, and I was nothing but a piece of shit. So, I guess this is where we'll start it. But yes, this is just the little tidbits of the things that I went through with this man and his psychotic mental illness. He has mental illness. I could see his facial expressions change. I could hear him having conversations with himself back and forth in the bathroom. I could hear him having full-on fights in the shower where he was punching the walls because he was fighting with an inmate in the shower. Get the fuck out of here. Man needs mental help. He knows how to be nice and sweet at first. Don't piss him off. Don't tell him you won't do something for him that's illegal because that will really piss him off because that was a lot of our fights as well. He always wanted to do illegal shit, and I told him I don't break the law, and I'm not going to jail for anybody. And that pissed him off. He tried to lie about the car. I told my insurance I'm not lying for him. So he had to do all that lying on his own because I wasn't going to do it. And we fought about that for days. He says, I need you to fall in line and do whatever I want you to do. And I said, there are things I won't do and I will not compromise my morals and standards for. But he still wanted me to. So those were a lot of the fights as well, because I stood on my business and I stood on my morals. And he couldn't handle it. He would have full-on teenage childish tantrums and fits. Love, peace, and happiness, guys. Till next time.